Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay in your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason? It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do, come back triple.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Kate out back in the Ripple Effect. You already know what it is and you already know the vibes. That's right. Smooth Mike. Damar Hamlin is officially cleared for football. Officially cleared. Who knows the extensive training, testing, visits that he had to take with the doctor just in order to get cleared. I'm sure it was crazy. But let's talk about what Damar Hamlin has done on his way to recovery, right? Because of course that's his intent. I know a lot of people are probably like, are you sure? I'm sure he did everything. Also, the Bills organization, you've seen what they've done and what they did when he needed them most. They were there. So I'm sure that they did everything. They did their due diligence to make sure that he was 100% ready, got all the doctors, second opinions, third opinions, whatever they needed to do to make sure that he is ready to go. Because remember, at the end of the day, this was his dream. This is what he's worked all of his life for, and to play at the highest level. I mean, it's remarkable, honestly. It is the best comeback story you'll probably ever hear. He's done extensive work all the way to the White House, discussing with President Biden on the essentials of having AEDs, making it mandatory that no matter what game, is played, even at the Little League level, an AED needs to be present. You need to have somebody that is able to perform not only CPR, but know how to use an AED, and require that coaches, staff, have somebody trained, have paramedics down there on the field, making sure that if anything were to happen, because you saw the result when you have people who are trained and know what they do. And I know it's a lot of hard, it's very hard to try to fathom that actually happened, and just to know, like, it gave you kind of like a little inside look on what paramedics or people, in the ER, doctors, cardiologists, things of that nature, what they do on a daily basis. Like, this is what they do, unfortunately, right? And I say unfortunately because these are the things that they have to see, and me, I was involved in it, at one point in my life for a long period of time. So I know what it's like, to, be robotic in a sense, because you're trained. And when these things happen, it's just go time. You don't even think. You don't even sit there and try to, explain to too many people about what's going on. You just got to react. You just have to, do CPR, get the AED on board, everything that's needed. And, all my paramedic fans and, nurses, doctors out there, y'all already know what it takes. Y'all already know what goes into all that. So we don't need to really do all that. But, just to give you a sense of how urgent it is, to get that kind of care, and the fact that, he's continuing this practice. He's not just thankful for people that were there for him, but he's also making sure that other people, especially kids, have the same, trained professionals out there on the field before a game is even played. Because I remember even being a standby medic, you can't even play a game of football, until a screwdriver's on the field. And some people might say, like, why? What do you need a screwdriver for? Like, it's because you got to be able to take off the face mask. That's important. A lot of times you want to make sure the head is stable. C-spine precautions. You don't want to, make anybody paralyzed or different things like that, because the importance of the spine. And it's just knowing all those little details that obviously make a huge difference in someone's life, because you're not just trying to save their life, you're trying to save their quality of life as well. So a lot goes into that, and I'm so glad he's back. I'm not going to make this too long-winded. I remember when I got the jersey, it took forever to come, because I'm sure everybody in the world was trying to get this jersey, and rightfully so. And I got it because it was not only significant to me personally because of what I used to do as being a paramedic and being a provider of medical care at people's, worst moments. It was also, it's very significant because I love a good comeback story. I love guys who are willing to make that fight, and not only for themselves, but for others. And I feel like that's what Damar Hamlin's been doing. and he's humbled himself. He's let everybody know what a challenge this has all been, because he didn't ask for this. He seemed like a humble young man prior to all of this, and very giving, and with his little brother, and he goes into you guys should just watch these different interviews and different things that he explains a lot about what it means for him to give back, but at the same time trying to process, why me? You know, why did this happen to me? You know, all of the attention, but it's for a higher purpose, right? Because some things we really can't question, and I think the way he's gone about it was perfect. I really hope he comes out with a book. I hope he comes out, you know, killing it this season, just because it's like, wow, to have to deal with all that and understand, like, he was a second-year guy, right? I believe it was Hyde that went down, and it was his opportunity to kind of step up, and he got to be out there, right? And he was doing so well, and just to play in those meaningful games and what it meant, you know, for him, and he's got to finish what he started. And I'm so glad that not only that he's being given this opportunity, but that he's fought and earned the right to have this opportunity. And the fact that he's giving back, it just makes it that much sweeter. And you already know his donations and how it went from, you know, a couple thousand to now millions, and who knows where that number is now. But the important thing is the word is out. People have I would hope they would have a lot more respect for what these athletes do in terms of the NFL players, because it's not easy, and they are putting their lives on the line. It's not just injuries and things of that nature. You know, we've seen injuries where guys couldn't get up, you know, where they looked like they were going to be paralyzed or have all these different, you know, ailments that we don't even discuss, because let's face it, some of these guys are not having the best life in their 40s and 50s and 60s, you know, for many different reasons. And, you know, CTE is a big thing and can't be diagnosed unless posthumously. So there's a lot of things that go into it, and I'm glad there's a lot more attention being brought to this, because when guaranteed contracts, when those things, different things are discussed, then maybe people can understand why these guys need guaranteed contracts, and they need that security for not only them, for their families, because at the end of the day, they are sacrificing for our entertainment. That's literally what it is. They're sacrificing their limbs, organs, right? Like Ryan Clark would tell you, they're sacrificing their life. And Damar Hamlin has literally brought an attention to this, and hopefully what we can do as not only fans or people who love the game, or analysts, media at large, whomever, is to thank them. Honestly, to thank them, and the way you can thank them is by understanding when they're asking for their money, it's for a reason. It's not just, and it's not even just money half the time. It is their medical benefits to be extended past 5 years of their retirement, because you know that that's technically when the trouble starts. And I always like to equate this when, you know, you go out to buy a brand new car, right? It's roughly like a 5-year loan. You're thinking you're doing good, okay, cool, then you pay it off in 5 years. What happens? Things start happening with the car, right? Makes sense, right? So it's like, keep those things in mind, that these guys are definitely fighting for their lives, and they definitely deserve all the money that they can ask for. You know, obviously teams got to be careful, and, you know, you have the market, and you have the, you know, the cap, and of course, like, we're all within reason. We're with it when it comes to being reasonable, because we're not talking about anything crazy. But remember, there's 53 players on the team, and we're not just talking about the stars here getting their money. I mean everybody. So, you know, guys, I only ask y'all to do one thing. Losses equals life lessons. And Damar Hamlin, man, this lesson was big. Later.
Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay in your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason. It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do, come back triple.